Hello, we are back from Macon, Georgia, Middle Georgia ComiCon. This is the Dennis and Andy Show, doing our comic book haul of what we got from the convention. And of course, one thing we got was to hang out with our buddy Fragaboom, Dan Fraga. Got to go over to his house, hang out, go out to dinner a couple nights with his family, and it was a fun time. And let me tell you, when Dan says his wife is short, it's like he married a Polly Pocket. And if you have kids, especially girls, you know what Pockets are. They're those little girl toys, women things that you can dress up. I thought my wife was small. Dennis thought my wife was small. And then he met Dan's wife.
Yes, she's an absolute sweetheart. It was great. The kids, man, they were a blast. The show guys, a lot of the great guys that we know from the show, they were there. It was fun to hang out and chat again. But there were a whole bunch of new faces that I had never met before. A lot of the dealers, they were great to meet. One of the guy and his daughter, they came down from Michigan for this show, and what a haul that was. Absolutely wonderful, guys. We had a great time. We got to meet not only guests, but people came out to see us. We talked core draft. We sold some stuff. We really got into some great conversations with people. Guys, it was just an absolutely great show. So kudos to Mike for putting on the Middle Georgia ComiCon in great old Macon, Georgia.
That's right. And we got to meet, like Dennis said, met a few CGers from the chat. I apologize now because the only name that sticks out to me, or the only name I remember, and remember, guys, I have a shitty memory, is because of a TV show I used to watch and love, and that is from the chat, Fox Mulder. So that was very cool to meet him.
Yep.
Wearing a trench coat and everything, almost like a Fed. So and very clean cut too. So who knows? Maybe. But yeah, so we did some shopping. I'm amazed with the amount of stuff I bought. First, Friday, the show was Saturday and Sunday. Friday, after we got there and set up, we went over to Mike, the guy that runs the show. We went over to his store, which is Fanboy Comics and Collectibles. Just a great store.
It was
a great store. And
yeah, guys, we wanted to hit the shop, so we had made sure we left early so we could check out a couple of the shops. We really wanted to check out his. I heard Fanboys was really great, and I walked in and I was spending money within 30 seconds.
Yep. So was I.
But guys, we got a lot of people in the chat. Let's say hi. Horror Mike was first. Excellent. This should be a hoot.
We always do.
JP Roca, what's good? Willie, look at that. What's up, fellas? Well, we're here to share our weekend experience and have a great time. Marcus is not driving today, so he was going to join us. So welcome. We are relaxed, AJ. I am glad you are here. We were a little worried being an odd time like this that you weren't going to. Nicholas Gear, look at that. Leg kick. Welcome. AJ, rubbing it in with the shirt today. Today is a good day to rub it in, but just wait till Wednesday. Look at that. We got a bunch of guys. There's Mark. Look at that. Hey,
I don't know, man. Wednesday, I'm already feeling a little sick.
Doesn't matter. I'll come over.
Wednesday's our Lego show. We're building Legos on Wednesday.
It is. We will be live building our Legos. I just have to go on and find the directions because mine did not have directions. Jolly Green Giant, check that out. How about them Cowboys? There's Joe. He never lets us down, particularly on the entire road trip home.
I said it. I'll say it today. Shit happens. I wouldn't let Mike McCarthy go just because of this. And yes, we did go to Fraga's house. And go Packers next week against the Niners. So there you go. Let's see if they can do it twice in a row.
afternoon. Hopefully you scored big. We did find some good stuff. I don't think we came home with, any of those X-Men, Avengers 1, Fantastic Four #1 books, but we got some good stuff and some good reads. So with that, guys, why don't we get on and let you guys know what we found?
All right. Okay. Hello, Mickey.
And we
Nice to
did say
see you.
Legos.
Legos. So this is one. I'm not showing. I got probably literally 35, 40 comics. A lot was $1 and $2 stuff, but I got some good stuff, and that's what we're going to be showing. But I am showing this $1 book I got because I was just like, oh yeah, that has to be picked up. Fantagraphics, a little Tales from the Crypt. It's all Jack Davis work reprinted from Tales in the Crypt. Obviously, it's not everything he did. In fact, we'll do what we usually do when we do this. We'll do this. So, and then when it's Dennis's turn, it's what is this? I don't even know how many. It's just 32 pages. So I'm hoping it's a good smattering of probably just one story, The Crypt of Terror, Bats in the Belfry. And on the back, a very nice painting by Jack Davis. So yeah, I just had to get that. I thought it was great. Mandy didn't come out, so maybe she was just messing with you guys. I don't know, but no. And it wasn't like so large where if she did, there's no way she wouldn't be able to find us or anything.
Nah,
So
we heard from a lot of you guys. We were getting messages and stuff. Hey, Mandy's coming. We're like, well, that's awesome. She can go out with us, hang out, and everything. And I don't think she made it, but I'm sure you'll find out. I did hear she was up to like 4 o'clock in the morning, so streaming. So that might have had something to do with it.
that and the fact that she heard you were attending the show every day without pants on. I mean, unprofessional.
Well, she would have made the trip then.
I doubt it.
Oh. So, guys, this first batch, I'm just going to kind of show you, and I'm just going to fan it out. These are old Conans. I wound up just filling in holes with some Conans. These are a couple of them are in low end shape, but these are some of them are, but most of them are mid grade. Guys, for the Conans, I was just filling in a hole. This one is a low grade one, and this one was kind of interesting. Andy pointed this one out. He happened to look through them because I am trying to fill in a few of the holes, and he opened this one up and he goes, "Oh my God, isn't this like a reprint?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was thinking maybe it was an homage to the #1, and I was like, "Huh." A little confused about that one, so I didn't know the history. So I actually had to go look it up. This one, they actually talk. This is back when they were mailing the pages, to and from Marvel and between the inkers, the writers, everybody, right? They lost the first 13 pages in the mail. So it talks about it, and they're like, well, we have deadlines. Back then they had deadlines and they were under contract to print it out. So they said, we'll just go ahead. We're not going to put a book out. So they reprinted part of it. And then what they did, because, it was, Barry Windsor Smith and stuff. They were like, they did have this pin up. And they're like, so for those of you who would be really upset, we're going to add the Hyborian page pinup. So they added this to it kind of as, sorry guys, the cover says it's going to be this, but psych when you open it up. So that was a little cool piece of history that I did not know.
So the whole book is reprinted the first issue. There's nothing new in it but that pinup.
I think that original story is, and then because apparently there's the rest of the story that would have continued on, but they had to fill it in. So they literally took the needed pages and reprinted it. So that was cool. That is not something I knew that they did. It kind of makes me want to research. Maybe some of you guys know. But anyway, we'll find out. How many other books did they have that happen to where they had to pop something in because of lost pages? kind of an interesting thing.
Yes, it is. Well, there you go. Okay. Back to my stuff. Question. Joe says he's loving the Gil Kane stuff I'm posting. I'm trying to post the cover every day of Gil Kane. He did so many covers. I could easily do it for 2 or 3 years. But that is what I'm trying to do this year. I love Gil Kane because I love his sense of anatomy. I love his form that he gets with the anatomy, the way he renders it and shows the form. I love the way he constructs his anatomy. It's very George Bridgman and Bern Hogarth combined, which I think is cool. And his figures just have a nice flow and movement to them. So that is it.
Do you collect Conan magazines too? I do have a number of Savage Sword of Conans. It's not one on my list where I have to get everything. I do enjoy them. If I find them for the right price, I'll pick them up, because if I'm ever bored, I can sit down and read them, because they are a really fun read. Conan is great. And I agree with you, Chris. Crom.
That's right. Okay, so next, I love these promotional comics. 7-Eleven Marvel Collector's Edition. 7-Eleven starring Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, the Hulk, Captain America, going up against the Enchantress and the Wizard, the Rhino, the Trapster, all drawn by Herb Trimpe. Love this stuff. Just had to get it. So yeah, and I think it was like $5. So I'm like, $5, $5. Oh yeah, I can do $5, no problem. So that is it right there. Just love stuff like this. So add that to the collection. It's in pretty decent shape. So there you go. Love those 7-Eleven type books.
I do too. I love those promo books. So whenever we get them, and we'll just kind of continue with that one, because look at that.
Oh, whoop, gotta drag you over. Totally forgot. There we go.
Captain America on his war against drugs. So, back in the day, Nancy Reagan, say no to drugs. And writer was Peter David Salvaletto, and Keith Williams on the
Yep. Now, the funny thing about this book is Dennis actually told me later that day he had it when he was a kid, and it saved him, because if it wasn't for that, he'd be a meth addict right now. So he lost it at some point. He was still trying to, even though he was getting off meth when he first got the book, he was still a little hooked, and he traded it for a little gram of something, and he just wanted to get it back because it meant so much to him. And now he's not a meth head. So.
And drinking from my core draft mug, that's a crom. Thank you, Chris. Crom. These are just fun.
They are. Miki wants to know, what was the spending budget? You mean, what did I take and go, this is my budget to spend at the show? I don't really think of it that way. It's more like if I see it, because I know I was able to use plastic to pay for a couple things instead of cash. So it was probably around 150 or so I spent, because there were 3 books I really wanted to get, and I was able to find them. So from actually my buddy, or our buddy Rob Young, who does South Carolina ComiCon, he was there and set up as well. So I'm saving those towards the last. But the next thing,
I guess
I'm not, because I'm looking at my stack and it's one of the next ones. What's that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't really take a budget. I bring cash, but if there's something really cool, guys, that's why I do have plastic as a backup. But I spent way more than I was planning on. Let's just put it that way, and I'll save probably my fun, good ones to the very end.
So this book, I don't care enough to get the whole series, but I never knew until just recently that one of my favorite artists drew this first issue, and right there I had to get it. And I also picked up issue 3, which I don't have in this stack to show, but issue 3 was a cheapy dollar book because it had a Michael Golden cover, whereas this one cost me, I think, $5. It was half off. Chris Starr, #1, Brett Blevins, an early Brett Blevins work. You can still see all the hallmarks of Brett Blevins' style and just he is such a great artist, and so his drawings just have so much life to them. This book came out 41 years ago. It's in really nice shape. It's also May. My daughter was born in May. So, like I said, I don't want the whole series. I want this one, and I got it. Brett Blevins, issue 3. Great Michael Golden cover, and Ron Friend's interiors. And that's early Ron Friend stuff. Oh, look at that. There he goes. Fox Mulder says, hope you both had a positive experience while I'm making. I spent way more than I should have at the con, but definitely enjoyed getting to meet you guys in person. Thank you so much for the $10. And thank you for coming out and meeting us. That was awesome. And I'm right there with you, buddy. Going to this con, I thought I might spend 50, $60. I pretty much doubled that, maybe a little more. So I hear you. And I know Dennis did too. I was laughing at him. He topped me, and that's all I cared about. So
yeah, guys, well, you'll see it when we get there. I'm a little sad. My wife wasn't the happiest when I walked in with a large box, but we'll get to that a little later. Chris Starr, I'm just saying, I wound up picking up the set, but this isn't for me. This is for one of my very good friends. He's in the chat. He's been looking for it. They had all the first 11 issues in a set there, right at Fanboys. So I immediately took a picture, and he's like, dude, isn't that what he's looking for? I'm like, oh my God, look at that. I took a picture, sent it. I'm like, we're here now. 2 minutes later, my phone's ringing. Yeah, I'll take it. So
yep.
I picked that up for my buddy. And see, he is in the chat. You are welcome. We will try and get together sometime this week, and so I can get you that. But man, it's great. This is one Andy found for me. I do get. I have collected the $6 Million Man comics. I am now going through the $6 Million Man magazines, and they had one. One of the guys, he was great. I wound up chatting with him for most of the day. Just great guys that we got to talk to. But look at that, 26 facts about the $6 Million Man. Guys, it isn't just, because the comics and stuff are all, like this. It is good art. I was just going to say, this one is done by the Jack Sparling Studio. So this is one where they have the entire studio. So they obviously had a number of people working on it. But some facts did you know about $6 Million Man? He's exactly 6 foot tall. So he's my height. He weighs 175 pounds. That's with bionics. So I think I outweigh him even with that. He was born in Michigan.
Whoa, I outweigh him by 5 pounds.
He has a bionic arm, a bionic way, and his parts are 21 times more powerful than the original human part. Whoa, he has blue eyes, brown hair, was born on April 23rd, and even with his bionics, he lost his arm wrestling match to Dennis Turner. So that was fantastic. Those are great facts, and these are great books to pick up. So, guys, these are just fun things. I will probably pick up the entire run on this at some point. This one was a mid-grade copy. It wasn't even bagged, boarded. I didn't care. I needed it. It's a good read, so kudos.
There you go. I did get, Dennis showed his smattering of Conans. I did pick up a Neil Adams, Earl Norman, Jack Sparling covers. That's true. Now, see, I told Dennis about it because I have issue 1. I want 2 and 3 because those were drawn by Neil Studio, whereas 4 was not. So once I saw that, I was like, Big D, here's a book for you. But I did pick up Conan 57. 57, why? Well, besides the great Gil Kane cover, inked by Vinnie Coletta, it's the one and only issue the great Michael Plug drew of Conan. So, guys, Michael Plug, Conan, heck yes, had to get that. Just a great book. So, There you go. And he inked it himself too, I believe.
Gold Key Star Trek. These are kind of important because I am now just about done. I've almost finished off the entire run. And then I will have all the Gold Key, the Marvel, and the DC books, especially thanks to a couple of you guys out there that sent me some of the ones I was missing to fill in the holes. But issue 16 and 60, and I think I am missing issues 24 and 59. I have to double check, but I am almost there. Then I will have the entire Gold Key. I do have all the original volumes when they put them out in trades, so I've read them. It's just classic, good fun sci-fi stories. But you guys know me, I'm a collector, kind of just need to have them. But always love picking up old Star Trek like that.
That's right. All right. One of the ones I was looking for and I found it was and this was from Mike's store. No intervention needed. Dave Copperfield will be selling his that's cool.
Oh, that's kind of exciting.
It is.
If it does, I will try and keep my eye open for that because that was cool.
So this book was that's right, he was there. This book was one I've been looking for. I got it from Mike's store. Giant Size Man Thing #1. Please hold your jokes. We've heard them all. Giant Size Man Thing. I now have one to add to the one I already had in my pants. Anyhow, there it is. Mike Plug. Just love his interpretation of the character. Fantastic. Nice condition. $15. Sold, as they say. Sold. Yes, Vinnie Coletta was inking Crystar. Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that. They fell into a pool. Okay, you're up.
One of the ones I've started kind of collecting them, and I don't know, I just tend to keep finding these. The Spire comics, they've done multiple printing on them, and they've got some pretty interesting kind of neat stories. Hans, My Brother's Keeper, The Hiding Place, so they've got Christian book stuff. And I had started collecting some of the one because I'm a World War II buff in terms of I like the history of it, reading about it, understanding it. And they really put out some interesting books for it. Well, the more that I find, these are just kind of neat little books. This is one I don't have any of. It's kind of it's a lower mid-grade copy, but it's the first time I had actually seen one out in the wild. So I snagged it. I will give that a shot at some point. They're just kind of neat little books for me to collect, a little side thing.
That's right. So another book. I found 3 books at Borderlands Rob Young store, the guy that does SC ComiCon. One of the ones I was looking for, I was actually trying to find it before the holidays, but I didn't. But that's okay. Batman and Robin #239. Booyah! Right there. Great Neil Adams cover. Just a really nice story. Irv Novick, Dick Giordano on the interior art. Great stuff. I love this cover with Batman with the beard and everything. Just so cool. I just had to have it. It's in pretty decent shape. So yeah, there you go. That's another one. Another one bites the dust. Boo, boo. Another one down and another one down.
I did grab a couple of Iron Mans because I'm also trying to whittle down my Iron Man line.
I bought that one as well.
Yeah, I found 2. And Andy's like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, they got 2. Here's another one. So that was 165. Right. So I think that knocks out the highest numbered one I need. And then this was a low grade copy, but it is in the lower one that I needed. It's a good filler issue. George Tuska. I'll show you the splash page.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I will eventually get a better quality one for this. But, hey, the guys, this was, I think, $2 that they had in there. You can pick up an old My Iron Man, even in mediocre shape, for $2. That is worth sitting down reading. Roll it up, stick it in your back pocket until you get a good one.
That's right. All right. Yeah, I love that George Tuska stuff.
Yep.
Another one I was looking for. Rob had it. I got 3 books from Rob. Nice shape. Number 2, November. Giant Size Avengers number 2. Why, you ask? Why? Drawn by Dave Cockrum. That's why. Giant Size Avengers number 2. This is before Giant Size X-Men. So Dave Cockrum doing great giant size work there. Not the cover. The cover was not Dave Cockrum, but the inside is. And on the back, it's noted Origin of Ramatut. Hawkeye joins the Avengers. Death of Swordsman. Oh, I just spoiled so much stuff for myself, but I'm still going to read it. So very nice looking stuff. And Dave inked it himself as well. So another reason to pick that sucker up. Good stuff.
I picked up Doctor Strange 164. This one's not in the greatest of shape. It's okay. It's got a spine split down at the bottom. It's got a chunk that's in there. But again, if it's the right price, you know, I will always pick up these because if it's one that I don't own. So, you know, there really was. This is cool. I actually haven't had a chance to read this one. I don't even know if I've read this one before at all. So I do want to sit down and check this one out. Just love
Nice.
that. Just love that stuff. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, a good one. That's another good Doctor Strange.
Very nice. I don't think I even saw that one.
Hmm.
Another one, the third one from Borderlands that I got. Another Mike Plug. I'm doing this thing now where I pretty much have all my birthday books. And if you're wondering, what's that mean? Well, I was born in the wonderful year of 1969 in the month of November, but books have a different cover date than the month they came out on. So if a book shipped in September, it had a November cover date because that told basically the retailer time to take it off the stand in November. So I buy books that were cover dated November 1969. I do get a few that came out in November, which means cover date January 70. But overall, I have most of those 1969 cover dates. So now I'm looking at books that are issue number 5 that came out in May. Doesn't matter the year. It's my daughter's birthday is May 5th. So another Mike Plug classic, Werewolf by Night, number 5. So getting stuff like this for sentimental reasons. Miss Marvel, the original Miss Marvel book from back in the 70s, number 5 was also May, and I've got a nice copy of that. So I'm getting some of these for that reason. And if they're drawn by good artists and stuff, it's even better. So there you go.
Do you collect the new Iron Man or just the older? So I used to collect pretty much all the Iron Mans, you know, quite a few. I'm collecting, going back and getting all of Volume 1. I do have Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and I think that's about where it stopped. The new stuff, it's just unreadable. I've stopped collecting all Marvel and DC. So yeah, the newer stuff, I don't get any of the new stuff. But I will go back and collect, you know, especially Volume 1. And that number 1 and number 55, don't know if I'll ever get around to those, but you know, I'll be close probably with the most of the rest of that run. And I'll show you. That'll probably be my last book I show you guys today. The Fall of Asgard, Mighty Thor, number 175. I'm going to show you the splash page.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at
Jack
that.
Kirby.
Yeah, that's right. This one's in pretty decent shape. I wanted to find a nice 2-page spread, but back then they really got a lot of ads and everything that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. I am going back and collecting a lot of the older Thor. I think I've got most everything from in the 2, 3, and 400s. So it's the older ones, and I'm going back and slowly picking those up. Never find a good copy. I do like Thor. Um, he was one that I occasionally collected as a kid, but as most of you know, I was an X-Men guy, so most of my money all went into X-Men for back issue stuff.
Oh. Well, Joe, that's a very easy answer. The best armor is the one that Steve Ditko actually designed. Yellow and gold, yellow and gold. My favorite run is the John Romita Jr., Bob Layton stuff, probably because that's what was coming out when I was a kid. I don't really have armors beyond that one. So, because you said top 5, that's just my favorite. I do like, well, I'll say this. Because of Mark Beecham, I like the 2099 armor from that annual that came out back in the 80s as well. So I do like that. Other than that, I like Bob Layton and John Romita Jr. and Bob Layton. I love George Tuska on it. Yeah, so that's mine. Dennis will now tell you his favorite armor, which nobody agrees with.
I kind of agree. Okay, I kind of agree with you. So apparently nobody agrees with me on a number of your armors. The stealth armor was always cool to me. I really enjoyed the stealth armor. Low firepower, cool stealth abilities, sneaking in. I like, the subtle nuances you could do with it. But my hands down favorite armor of all time, some of you will agree, some of you won't. Silver Centurion armor. I immediately collected every single Iron Man book. I think it's 200 through like the Armor Wars stuff there. Got them all. I bought them when they do it. I absolutely love that. Silver Centurion. If I could get a sideshow statue of that with like the suitcase and everything there, that would be really awesome.
Oh! That's what people think of that armor. Just saying.
Oh, well, hold on. Look at that. Oh, 100%, Dennis. Thank you, Mark and Blackjack. I like the silver. Wow. I think chat's going to start slapping you, Andy. I love to hear that.
I don't think so. Okay, next up. I only need issue 4. So who knew back in 2017 from Dark Horse when this miniseries came out? Like I said, 4 issues. I have number 1. I read it. I was like, this is really cool. I think I'll wait for the trade. Well, long story short, the trade came and went. Didn't even know it came out. It is very expensive now. Oh, please. The trade is it's expensive now, hard to get. The single issues are hard to get. Last day of the show, these were half off, so $5 each. Predator versus Judge Dredd versus Aliens. All I need is issue 4. Yes. I already had issue 1. That's why I'm not holding it. Great story. Great artwork by Chris Mooneyham, who is the artist on the new G.I. Joe book that Skybound is putting out. I love his work. He went to the Kubert School. I'm not sure when, what class, or any of that, but he definitely has that Kubert influence in his work, and I just dig it. So, 2 and 3. Now I just need number 4 of Predator versus Judge Dredd versus Aliens. And then I'll be able to read it.
Very nice.
Well, I'll still read 2 and 3 and just have to wait.
I've actually got a couple of them. I've got Captain America 122 and 142. Oh, look at that. Gotta love it. Falcon green. Yeah, love it. But again, just kind of filling in a few holes that we have. I'm going to show you the splash. Boom.
Oh, I love that page so much. The reflection of Captain America in a car for a splash page, and it's still a great shot of Cap. Gene Colan was the man.
I knew you would. I knew you were going to like it.
I bought that book because of that splash page. And then Joe Sinnott doing the inks. I mean, you just don't get much better.
Yeah. So anyway, a couple of Captain Americas to get a little bit closer to completing the good old caps.
That's right. All right, let's see. Oh, here's a fun one. From my Ute, Incredible Hulk 230. Now, I was buying a lot of these. This was from 1978. So I didn't start buying the Hulk until the 80s, and it was all, Sal Buscema in early 80s when I was buying it. I didn't know. So Bob Layton, I believe it's cut off, but I believe Bob drew this cover, penciled and inked the cover, and he posted about it on Facebook a little while ago. He inked the insides. At least that's where I think I saw it. Bob inked the insides over Jim Mooney. So Jim Mooney pencils, Bob Layton inks, and it is just a great, great looking team up. So, of course, I had to get it. So this was another one I got from Mike's store, the guy that put on Middle Georgia ComiCon. So I can't wait to bust that open and look through it. I liked Iron. I liked. Ron Wilson. Okay, there you go. Ron Wilson pencils. Layton inked the cover. Very cool. I liked Wilson's armor design for the Heroes Reborn stuff as well.
No wife is happy that her husband brings in a box load of comics to the house unless she's a collector. This is true. This is true. That's why mine is not, but it's okay. She lets me, and we don't argue over it. I know these are reprints and stuff, but
they don't argue over it much.
Yeah, there is a little much there, and I'll show you guys a little bit what I did get. But this was just a great copy. I mean, it looks nice. Like I said, even though they're reprints and stuff like that of earlier stories, I love them. I do like this. I've got a whole bunch in this lineup. They have all the ads and everything that are in them too. So yeah, this was just one that I needed. I think like in a bookend, so I've got a nice run.
Nice. Very nice. All right. 2 books at once. So go talking about Iron Man, favorite armor, favorite time period. Issue 135. Jerry Bingham artwork, inked by Bob Layton. I'm a huge Jerry Bingham fan. And once again, he did a few issues of Iron Man. I did not have 135. I thought I did, but I did not. So I do now. And then 136, cover by Bob Layton, interior art by Alan Weiss. That's right, Alan Weiss. He's like a diamond in the rough. He never really did a monthly book, but the few jobs he did, because he just bounced around a lot, are just gorgeous, really classically looking trained artist. Love Alan's stuff. So 135 and 136 of Shellhead. Love his stuff. Oh, Sean Chen's armor was good. Yeah, I did like that. So that was good.
Nice. This is one Andy got me to go pick up. I hadn't had it. I saw they had a single issue, but this wound up being a trade. Onyx, and I do love cool armor. I love sci-fi stuff, and we start looking at the artwork in this. I'm going to find some of the armor. I started flipping through it, and I'm like, wow, I don't remember seeing this on the shelves at all at
Yep.
we've got a regular comic shop, and then we always hit one or two other ones in town, whenever because we always go out for to eat after our Wednesday night show. And anyway, had never seen this one. I love the artwork. So this collects the first 3 issues.
Four.
Issues. Yeah, and for $10, and somebody had it there, and they had a couple of them for $2. I know Andy got it, and I got it, And this is one, when I find time, I really do just want to sit down and read it.
I
Looks
know,
like
I'm the same
a
way.
cool, fun science fiction thriller.
Now I've seen it before. I never saw the 4 issues, but I saw that trade and I was like, $10. I'm getting other stuff. Nah. Uh, and then I saw it for $2 at this guy that was selling stuff for $2. And like Dennis, I was like, gotta get it.
Yep.
So I'm glad he was able to get it as well. Um, let's see, where am I? Am I nearing the end? I kind of am. I got this Batman 328 Joe Kubert cover. That's not why I got it. So I picked it up to look through it. It was drawn by Irv Novick. Love Irv stuff. There is a backup story by Don Newton in here. Now, I've seen it before, so it's probably in the hardcover DC book that they put out featuring Don Newton's artwork on Batman. It didn't reprint everything, but a lot of stuff. So I think it's reprinted in there, but I don't have the issue. Now I do. Love me some Don Newton Batman. Good Lord, love that guy's stuff.
All right, we're going to take a temporary deviation from comics for a minute. They
Oh
have a
boy.
place in town called Primetime Gaming. Their shop is, they have tabletop gaming, different box games. They also have comic books, role playing stuff. So, you know, they were there. We got to talk to them at the show too, but we had also checked out their shop, and I was just kind of rummaging around because they do have a few used things in the gaming stuff. And I wound up finding A4 in the Dungeons of Slave Lords. This is cool. This is the fourth one in the run. This module was from 1981. I did like this series. I had gotten rid of a lot of my modules. The cover comes off. This is the stuff I like. For those of you that had backed the Mayhem in the Mirador Mountains from Core Draft, this is the kind of book that I loved as a kid. I made hours like it, and the future ones will be very much in this vein. So I just love picking up old ones like this from my childhood. So I got it. So I'm glad Primetime, they went and worked me up a decent price on it. So I did snag that. So anyway, a little cool piece of my history that I found in Macon, Georgia.
Macon, Georgia. Beautiful. I got definitely not last. I got one more book after this, but going through that Art of Art Adams art book that was a Kickstarter that I backed and I got a couple weeks ago. Did a book look on it, by the way. Go check out Book Looks. You'll love the variety I show. So I picked up. How do you know if it's a reprint? I've always had a hard time. When you buy a book, how do you know if it's a reprint? I've always had a hard time seeing the difference. Miki asks.
It depends.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, you can look at the indicia, all that small text. That should tell you if it's a reprint or not in
Like
that indicia.
think of when Star Wars, they reprinted their original ones. Up in the corner. I'll just show you, because I don't have one in front of me, but like up in the corner where you would see the price and the time, it was in a box like this. They re-released them in diamonds, and then it would say the word reprint on it. Sometimes it would just say reprint on somewhere on there, or a second printing labeled on it. A lot of times it might be just a different cover, or sometimes they had barred out the barcode. And if you flip it open on the inside, when you read the indicia down there, it will usually tell you if it's a second or a third or a fourth or a fifth printing, or like Killing Joke. What are they? 13 printings? I
Oh
think
God,
somewhere
it is
like
up
that.
there.
And in their case, each printing was a different color. It's very difficult to tell unless, do I have a new book? So the new books, I'm just going to look and see if I do. Yeah, I do. Here's a Predator versus Wolverine somebody had in their dollar bin. So when you look, I picked it up because I wound up snagging number 1 and 2 when I was dropping the series, right? But with that being said, when you look at your the UPC code down here, you can look and see what the final numbers is. So this is issue number 3. Oh, I got it upside down. Sorry. So you can see it's 311. All right. So those are the important numbers. You know, this is issue 3 and that this is a first printing. If this was a second printing, it would say 312. Third printing, it would be 313. Fourth printing, 314, etc., etc. So on the new comics that are out, you can tell because that last number on a first printing would be a 1. Otherwise, just see what number it is, and that will tell you what the printing it is.
There you go. Hope that helps, Miki. Okay, so got the Art Adams book, did my book looking through it, love it, love Art's work. In fact, Dan Fraga showed me the big omnibus Marvel put out of Art's work, and I was just drooling over it. It was a little too big to stuff under my shirt and not be obvious I was trying to take it from Dan. So he still has it for now. But I discovered Art Adams did Conan covers. He only did 2 of them. I never knew that. Guys, if you look at this cover, if you didn't know, if you were a youngin growing up with J. Scott Campbell in the 90s, you'd look at this and be like, I didn't know J. Scott Campbell did a Conan cover. Nope, that is early Art Adams work. It is just super cool. I mean, it's not that early. This book came out in 1991, so it's not super early, but you know, he wasn't even a professional, I think, at that point, not even 10 years yet. So very cool. That's the one cover. This is the other cover he did a little split cover there going on. Very cool. So 248 and 249. And then the guy had it. So I'm like, I love anniversary issues. How can I not? So I had to get the big 250 as well with the cover by Steve Lytle. Steve Lytle is the artist who I took over drawing Quasar from. One of my first gigs for Marvel. I always liked Steve's stuff. He unfortunately passed away a few years ago, but very cool cover. So there you go. Those are the 3 Conans that I picked up. Booyah, as they say.
One of the things, this was a guilty pleasure. It's my second to my last comic book. I'm going to show you a couple of things. Then I'll save my big one for last. Gambit and the Externals. I already own these, but you know, these were the gold variants on it, the gold covers. I love the gold covers. I love everything about them. The entire run that they did had versions with the gold ones. They had this for $9, and you know, I was like, you know, for $9, no. But they had put it in their $2 box, guys. For $2, I will pick up these gold ones all day long.
He will.
I just have to do it. I do love it. I enjoyed it, and maybe it's just because it's so shiny, and I can make the camera lens do that. But you know, I will pick those up. Were there any cool action figures or Star Trek models at the con? I can answer at the con itself, no. Now I will say at the Fanboy store, which is Mike's store, we had gone to a shop. They've got a custom built, so it's not like a Polar Lights or anything. Enterprise A that somebody had made for the shop. It is a good size one. Not my favorite paint job in the world, but it really was cool. It is not for sale. I couldn't even talk to him about buying it. Not that I have room anymore with all my other ships, but it was cool. I did see it. We got to talk about it as we all stayed up late drinking and stuff like that. And then I do, because I'm going to pimp out somebody we met there. You guys know I play D&D. I love figures. Third Dimension. These guys do 3D printed figures, and these are absolutely fantastic. They had their booth set up. I went over and talked to them. You know, here's a Baylor. I was almost thinking maybe I'll pull it out to get rid of the glare and stuff like that. But the level of details on these 3D printed are just absolutely stunning. You can order stuff right online. They have a huge collection. They brought a bunch. Guys, I actually bought an entire box of them.
Army. He bought an army.
I literally did. You know, here's Town Folks and Beggars that they had. Oh, this one I thought was just a beautiful design. Disgraced Angel and stuff like that. I absolutely love this. Guys, there are so many, and I'm not kidding when I say I got a box full, and that's why I wound up coming home with a box. Joe's asking if there's a link for them. Yeah.
We'll look and DM you later.
Yeah, we'll DM you if anybody else wants to know. These are just really cool. I went hog wild. I walked back with the box, so I knew my wife was not going to be happy with me. But
your wife,
reasonably
Saturday night, I walk into the hotel room. Dennis mashed the 2 double beds together. He's got all the figures out and he's freaking going, yeah, stab, die. And I'm like, dude, I want to go to sleep. Move these figures. He's like, slow your roll, pal. There's a war going on.
For those of you that have watched Spaceballs, you know how it is. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't see you playing with your action figures, your dolls. So never busting on me while I'm playing with the dolls. Guys, they were just cool.
All right, I got 2 books left. I don't know how many Dennis has, but I got 2. I never saw. So I'm looking at my shelf now just to make sure I'm not speaking out of turn. Let's see. I want to make sure. Is that it? Yes, it is. I've got the Ash. I said Ash trade paperback by Joe Quesada, Jimmy Palmiotti back in the day. I didn't know they did a 0 issue. So yeah, they did the 0 issue here. Wraparound cover. It's got a little reflectiveness in the logo. And yeah, I didn't know they did it. And I showed Dan Fraga. This came out in 1996. He loved it. I go, yeah, they got 2 of them. We go back over there. He wanted this cover. They had the other cover. And he goes, oh, man, I want that cover. And that's why I bought this, is because of this cover. So had to be a little selfish there. But I'll tell you, a lot of people might disagree, but this is my favorite era of Joe Quesada's work, when it was more cartoony. It had more life to it. It had more dynamics to it. I'm trying to get to a part of the story here because it starts off with like big captions and such, and then it goes into this background and stuff. I love this stuff. This is my favorite era. This and X Factor. My favorite era of Joe Quesada. That Exo Man of War that Joe did is just great. Love that. So yeah, and that's cool. I never even saw this before. It's got a little design sheet back there of Ash. So had to get it.
Andy, stop trying to act cool. You know you wanted to play with Dennis's toys. Everybody wants to play with my toys. That is a
I do when he goes to sleep.
If you put that book in a hole, would it be an ash hole? Love it.
Oh.
JP, don't bust in when Dennis is playing with not myself. Action figures, JP. Always action figures. Yeah. So some funny ones, guys. I did pick up one fun book. Andy flip.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Why? I don't know, guys. I walk by. This is the Ghost Rider of the future. It's Guardians of the Galaxy. This was all the buzz with the Ghost Rider stuff. I always thought it was cool. $1. Don't care. This is just fun. This is for $1. I'll buy this kind of book in great shape anytime. That is just fun right there. Best dollar you could buy unless you found an old Conan or Star Trek book.
That's true. That's true. Okay, last but certainly not least, guys, we started with a promotional comic. We are going to end with a promotional comic. Let me do this. We started with the 7-Eleven promotional comic starring Captain America, Spider-Woman, Spider-Man, and the Incredible Hulk, drawn by Herb Trimp. We end with an X-Men promotional comic. It's in a comic bag. It does have a board, but it is still, it's open at the top. So whoever had it, but they kept the poly bag it came in. So of course I was like, I almost threw it away, and I'm like, no, that's cool. I'm keeping that. So keeping a poly bag. It's a Pizza Hut one. There were 3 of them. I now have 1 and 2. So just need to get 3. No big deal. Look at this. Big gatefold cover there. John Hebert and Bill Anderson did the art. Nice gatefold cover there. It's got, I mean, if you pulled the cover off, it looks like Dwayne Turner, and that continues to the other side as well. And I love this promotional type stuff. I just think it's very fun and very cool when they do this stuff. Looking for a good shot here. Fun stuff. Just fun.
It is. Jack Blackjack said just sold the placemat that came with that issue of the Pizza Hut X-Men.
Oh, if it had the X-Men on it, you should have told Dennis. He's salivating now, going, there's a placemat?
I had so much Pizza Hut pizza to not only get the comics, they had the VHS tapes, all that stuff, just to get them. I love that stuff. I even did all the way back then. I got them, all the original ones. Absolutely loved it. All right, guys. My very last one that I got, once again, I will say that when I got to Fanboy's store, I walked in, I saw the Chris Star for my buddy, and then my eye immediately went up to the back wall. You guys know I'm collecting Iron Man. And what's on the back wall, do you say? They have Iron Man #2. Yes,
Dun, dun.
Iron Man #2, guys. This one's a 7.0. It's a nice looking copy. You can see the price. I didn't even ask to haggle. That was a solid price on this book. It looked good. You can see the back on it. The back looks pretty decent, guys. A 7.0 Iron Man 2. You can see the chip on there. Without even looking at the grading notes, I kind of know where the 7.0 came for. But with that being said, an absolutely awesome copy to really fill in. I really do need a #1 and the 55, and I think I'm just down to a couple of smattering ones down there. But for me, this was a great, fun pickup at a great price. Like I said, Mike, you had great stuff. They brought great stuff to the show as well, but I really spent my wad of money on all the gaming stuff and a few big comics.
Dennis definitely blew his wad on the show floor.
Aaron and Dennis need to compare slabs one day.
We did that.
Was a cool stream. We have done that. I was going to say we had Aaron on, and what did we do? Our top 7?
Yeah, I mean, we did something like that, but we did compare slabs because I don't have as many as those guys do, but I compared the slabs. What's up, Abras 2 cents? Hello.
It
gave a great review of Core Draft. If you haven't seen it, go to her channel and check it out.
Yes, she had a great review. Guys, we've seen quite a few great reviews out there. So for all of you guys that are watching, thank you so much for doing that. I am so happy to hear all the positive feedback that we've been getting on it. Even at the show, people stopping by that hadn't even heard of it, loved it. So, guys, totally appreciate that. Loved Core Draft. Yeah, that Aaron, when we had him on the show, we picked out some of our favorite books, slab books, and we were talking about them. And then the chat turned it into a competition actually because it wasn't supposed to be. And Aaron's got some really nice books, and it was pretty much universal. Aaron had the lead until
Yep.
X-Men #1.
John's Long Box in the house. That's right. May 17th. Dennis is a guest with John on John's Long Box. Check that out. Aber wants to know when she can get part 2 of Core Draft. We are working on it. The sign-up page should be going live around February 1st. The sign-up page for the next volume of the Core Draft adventure called Core Draft: The Awakening.
Volume 2, The Awakening, is being worked on right now, and the module, there will be another companion module with it. There will be brand new characters with character cards that will be introduced into it. So, guys, if you kind of enjoyed this first one, well, wait for the second one. It just gets better.
That's right. It does. So there you go. Core Draft 3, the slabbing. No. Close, but no cigar. Agent Cub, this is tough to decide, but I think Andy's the winner this time. Oh, you're just saying that because of last night, but I appreciate it.
No, I think he's just saying that. So for those of you that know, there was a lot of talk that we might not make it home from the convention in one piece. There was a lot said over the last couple of weeks about, or the last week about, one of us may grab the steering wheel on the trip home and just drive off a cliff or smash into a wall. Because Andy and I did watch the Dallas Cowboy Green Bay Packer game yesterday while we were coming home from Georgia. And boy, it was an intense game. It was probably the quietest ride I think I've had in a long time, coming home with a convention for the Andy. But
hey man, you got to pay attention. Got to pay attention to that damn game. Can't be talking.
So in the end, one of us was on cloud 9. The other one wasn't quite so much. All I can say was, guys, this has been a fun roller coaster. We know Joe in the chat, he was texting us. We were getting texts from so many different people yesterday on the ride. Andy didn't drive angry. It was more like I'm just gonna, this is it. I was waiting for the steering wheel to go and Thelma and Louise it right over a cliff or something like that. But we did.
I mean, I said it when it was 27-0, in the first quarter. I said the game's over because that's just it. No, we set up. We had a table at the convention, and we had Core Draft stuff, of course, books, T-shirts, beanies, game modules, playable character cards, everything that was on the campaign we have for sale, and it's also for sale at the Core Draft website. So you can definitely check it out there if you missed anything, or you just want to get another copy, a different cover. Go to coredraft.com, go to the shop tab, and check it out. Get yourself a frosty beer mug. Links are in the description below for that stuff.
Yeah, we were the 8th table, and then they set Dan because he goes, I want to sit by him. So he talked to him, and they moved Dan right next to us. So we were like right in the middle of it. It was really nice. We had a blast. Dan brought his kids, his family came. His brother, I mean, great guys. We laughed and joked and had so much fun all weekend. It was absolutely fantastic.
Real quick, have you guys picked up any of the Sit comic stuff? Yes, I have. I've actually I met the owner of the company, whose guy, I feel so bad. His name's escaping me now. No big surprise there. And I met him in San Diego a few years ago. And told him I liked what he was doing. I love the fact that he has Ron Friends and great writers and stuff doing the work for him. And yeah, I picked up, I have the, I didn't get it all, but the stuff that Ron Friends does, I pick up because it just feels like good old classic comics. So yes, I have met him. He's a good guy. So, all right, guys, we will be back on Wednesday for the Lego Masters competition between Dennis and I, who can put together their Lego car faster. Dennis has a kit Knight Rider Lego. I've got, it's like a Dodge Challenger. They're small, it's not like these huge things. We'd never get through that. They're literally like 6 to 7 inches in length once the car is put together. So we should be able to do it on the stream, and it'll be fun to watch us do Lego Masters and see who can put the car together the fastest. If Dennis looks like he's winning, I'm going to take a piece and hide it of his and cheat just like Green Bay did to win the game last night. And thanks for joining us. And I don't know if he's talking anything. What are you talking about? Something? What?
Yeah. Stay tuned. Join us so you guys can see Andy wear a very special hat on Wednesday.
I don't know. Nice and Tight, the comic book pencil art of Andy Smith. That's me. This book features 52 pages of some of my favorite full pencils that I did for other companies over the past 2 decades. The raw pencils as they were seen by the inker, and now you can see them for the first time. This book also comes in a digital format so you can practice your inking in your favorite program.